in out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thought never thinks to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is one with your own life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back, and learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. These words to begin shaping this space by John O'Donohue. This space, which is a unique space, not the first day of the new year, but the first Sunday of the new year. There are more of us here than there were last week, myself included. So it seems that most of us have decided to get that perfect attendance on Sunday morning, starting on the next Sunday after the first of the year. So on Friday, I had a startling. On Friday, I had a startling experience. I saw the paper there in the morning, rolled up like this. I thought that's a weird way to find the paper in the morning, but whatever. And so I unfurled it, and the headline read, "No changes yet for Central Oregon schools as coronavirus cases spike." I thought to myself, what have I missed in the paper the last 2 days? Oh no, this is happening again. I missed it that we were spiking. I thought the next week and months to come were going to be difficult that I had not expected, until I looked at the date of the newspaper and it said December 30th, 2021. This was the paper that we had curled up to wrap our Christmas lights around after we had taken them. And so I am relieved that it is not 2021 and that the virus is not spiking, but we do know that we live in a different world now with a virus and other things among us. We live in a different world now where we gather together in love and support to get through it. We gather into a world where people have different needs and accommodations around that. So if you mask here, fantastic. If you choose not to, fantastic. If you're on Zoom this morning, fantastic. If you come and you choose to be in our back space with a little more air and distance between you and other people, we welcome that as well. However it is you find yourself in this place this morning, even if this place is in your own living room, we are glad that you are here. No matter who you are in your life story, no matter your background, no matter who you love or how you love, no matter the color of your skin, no matter what's in your bank account, no matter where you lay your head, whether that's on a pillow in your home or in your car, no matter your sexual orientation or your gender identity, no matter who it is that you are on this morning, on this day, on this ever expanding and growing process of a spiritual journey and growth and love, we welcome you here. And we welcome you here this morning into the gift of music. As we have our guest musicians this morning with us, as we have had a practice this year of inviting guest musicians in once a month to be with us in our worship, Alicia Vianney and Mark Carwin are joining us this morning, and we are grateful for that. They're a duo, and earlier in their life they had professional music careers. Alicia played the oboe, the classical oboe, and Mark played classical, jazz, and rock bass. And they've taken all this and they've woven it into their own sound of indie folk that has elements of jazz and funk and Americana. And also, as you'll hear today, personal and provocative lyrics that are great fodder for thought to take with us into our week. They play around town at gigs at late night bars or in people's living rooms or at events or at weddings. I first saw them at a neighborhood party in my neighborhood in the first year that I was here. Everyone had gathered, a big celebration. There's probably like, I don't know, 50, 60 people there. And they just happened to be the two musicians that were playing. And needless to say, I did not do a good job at meeting my neighbors that night because the music was too good. So we'll invite them to open our space this morning in song. Alicia and Mark will be out at a table under the hands quilt after the service. We invite you to meet them and to continue exploring their music through purchase.
Good morning, and thanks for having us. I was just telling Scott that this is quite a step up from noisy bar gigs, so thanks.
Yeah, maybe if you guys could just like talk to each other and like face that way, it would make us much more comfortable. We appreciate this invitation. It's nice to be here.
I am part of a blended family, and it is sometimes challenging to remember the belonging that exists in a blended family. Sometimes there is fear that it's a less than family or that we don't truly belong to each other. And that can be disorienting and make us put up our guard sometimes and protective. And then when we remember that we do belong and it doesn't matter, that how we identify that we can be in a place of love and connection, it feels very healing and easy. And this is a song I wrote about that. I'm in love with the man with the shaky hands, and I see the waters of Long Island in the depth of his eyes, and in the yearning of his smile. And I'm raising his daughters, their mother died. He bathed her body in the afternoon light. It's okay to go slow, and it's okay to go slow. And I drew you a picture, I put my illusion in it, I put my sadness in it, I put you in it. And I drew another picture, I put my love in it, I put my joy in it. And they were the same, oh, the same, the same, oh, the pictures were the same. We've hidden our hearts in deep dark caves. We both know the feeling of losing. Tell me what it's like inside, and I'll hold you, it'll be all right. And I drew you a picture, I put my losing in it, I put my sadness in it, I put you in it. And I drew another picture, I put my love in it, I put my joy in it. And they were the
same, oh, the same, the same. And I sleep in the smoke and garden of our family. The smoke that curls with hope. Let's rise like the mist on the river in the golden fingers of dawn. Let's rise like the air on the river, and your smile is my golden sun. And I drew you a picture, I put my losing in it, I put my sadness in it, I put you in it. And I drew another picture, I put my love in it, I put my joy in it, and they were the same. And I drew you a picture, I put my losing in it, I put my sadness in it, I put you in it. And I drew another picture, I put my love in it, I put my joy in it, and they were the same, oh, the same, the same. The pictures were the same.
That was beautiful. And it leads perfectly into our chalice lighting reading. In the mystery of life and in music that surrounds us, there is light. It gives us a place to be, a place to grow, a place to rejoice together. It opens the pathways to love. In this place of friendship, there is freedom. Let the light we kindle go before us, strong in hope, wide in goodwill, inviting the day to come.
Will you please rise and bow to your spirit as we sing our chalice response, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in thy heart all the strength of passion. Wind, rise in the sea, Please be seated.
Good morning. I'm Chayla Sloper, the Congregational Life Facilitator, and I have today's announcements. And one of the first announcements is that for anybody sitting out in the gathering hall, there are some spaces up in front. We might be able to tip the room and have folks move one to one side or the other. But anyway, there are seats available up in front. But for the folks at home, you have the choice of your seats right there wherever you want to be. So good morning to all those who are gathering from remote places. For those who are joining on Zoom, we have a virtual visitor form that you can let us know that you were with us today and also sign up for our communications. So our communications come out weekly. We call it the All Congregation Email, for short called the ACE, and you can sign up for that at the visitors table or in the Connections Corner, which is in the gathering hall. Also at the Connections Corner, you can talk with one of our Connections team or sign up for things that you'd like to be on different, groups that gather. We have a way of connecting folks through our database. It's all very high tech and very useful. So you can sign up there. You can also get a name tag if you know that you'll be joining us in the future. We can get you a printed name tag, and then we can call you by your name. There's still an opportunity for those who want to be of help when we have inclement, that is to say, unmerciful weather. When the snow falls and you want to come out and shovel the snow, there's a sign up for that at the kiosk. And then the sort of biggest thing that I have on my heart today is the variety show and spaghetti dinner. About a month or so ago, maybe it was longer, I did a straw poll just to see, well, who might be able to come on January 20th if we had it that day? Guess what? We're having it that day. So that's going to be Friday, January 20th. The spaghetti dinner will be at 5. And for those who don't like red sauce, we will have noodles with butter. And then the variety show will start about 6:30. And normally the acts are family friendly, and it's possible that if all children were dispersed at a certain time, we could have some, different kind of fun material, but let's keep it family friendly to begin with. There is a sign-up form in the ACE, remember the All Congregation email, and if I can get my fingers typing fast enough, I'll try to get a sign up at the kiosk as well, because sometimes just signing puts you on the list, and then you can remember that. So essentially we just ask for information. What is it that you'd like to do in your performance? Is it spoken, sung, tap dancing? We've had tap dancing before. We've had gymnastics, and we've had all sorts of things. And it's just a variety show. Like, these opportunities are just that we get to see each other outside of coffee hour, and we get to see folks kind of shine in ways that only they can, only you can. So that's January 20th. With a slightly different shade or color, I want to let you know of a new volunteer opportunity. One of our neighbor partners, First Presbyterian Church, partners in various social justice efforts, they are going to be providing a shelter, like an overnight shelter, if the temperatures dip as we were experiencing a few weeks ago. And so they're opening up their space for, like I say, for overnight shelter. And what they're looking for is volunteers to help with setup and intake, because there needs to be a record of who would be using the facility that evening. Also to bring food, crock pot possibilities are always great. And then also somebody who would be willing to be there, basically on vigil, sort of night watch, to spend the night and then help any of the folks who might need assistance during the night. So I will have a sign up for that after the service. And this means, though, that it might be a moment's notice. Like, if the decision is made to open the shelter that night, you might get a call that afternoon. It's hard sometimes to, as we know, how the weather goes here in Central Oregon. So that's just an opportunity to be of service to those who are experiencing houselessness. Just want to say again that if you're interested in making a closer step to join the fellowship as a member, we'll be having membership classes probably in February, and there's a sign up at the kiosk for that. So with that, I'm going to say blessings on your day, hoping that at least today's delicious feast of all of these impressions and beautiful music and meaningful insights will nourish you today and through the week. And I am going to pass now to Jeff Belzer, who's going to be wearing 2 invisible hats. Jeff.
Thank you, Chela. And yes, my name is Jeff Belzer, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Men's Fellowship Task Force this morning. You might ask, well, what is this Men's Fellowship going to be? And my answer is it's going to be whatever we want it to be. A UU Fellowship in San Diego that we've been working with has a mission statement that is a pretty good summary of what our goal is. So the mission of their Men's Fellowship is to support men in the quest for lives of compassion, integrity, responsibility, and balance. The Men's Fellowship is a caring, intentionally diverse brotherhood committed to social justice and offering opportunities for intimate sharing, personal growth, and spiritual deepening. What we know for sure about our Men's Fellowship is that is going to be starting with a monthly gathering. The first of which is going to be Tuesday, January 17th from 7 to 9 here at the Fellowship. Well, we'll have a monthly gathering with the date and times, may vary. So to prepare for this gathering and to better understand what the men at UUFCO are wanting, we're going to be sending out a survey via email this week. The survey is going to be emailed to everyone in the congregation because we just wanted to get as many responses as possible. And so the women, you're welcome to share the survey with the men that's in your lives. And then anyone non-binary, if you're interested in being a part of the Men's Fellowship, by all means, please complete the survey and please welcome to join us. If you're not interested in being a part of the Men's Fellowship, please disregard the survey and don't feel like you need to fill that out. So for more information, there's information in the ACE. And if you're interested, please email mensfellowship@uufco.org to get added to our contact list. So we look forward to working with you, and we really are excited about this first gathering on January 17th. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Our Women's Connection group has been doing stuff for years and has had a wonderful time creating bonds and experiences. Our men were a little slower to the take, but they're getting it together now. So as Jeff said, anyone who identifies as a man is welcome to join that group. Non-binary, and if you're non-binary and wondering about where's the non-binary group, good question. Maybe that's the next group to form. So this is now the time for our Time for LHs, because I see Amy standing up here. So if you are young or young at heart, we invite you to come on down and meet us on the rug up front.
Good morning. This month's theme is finding our center. When I thought about what is our center, I had some questions. Like, what is that? And how do we find that? And it reminded me of a story that I'm going to share with you. So once upon a time, there was a rabbi or a Jewish teacher who got really old, or maybe we should say really experienced. And one day he felt really sad, and the people who had learned from him, his students, the people in his congregation, asked him why he was so sad. And he said something about being worried that he wasn't good enough. And the people around him were really surprised because they said that he was wiser, or at least as wise as a lot of the great teachers who had ever lived. And the rabbi thought about it for a while, and then he said, I'm not worried about being as wise as the other great teachers. I'm worried that maybe I haven't been the most like myself. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's possible that that self that he was talking about might have been his center.
That makes sense to me. saw someone down here go, oh, that's exactly right. Have you all ever, like, have a friend or see somebody in the world and you think to yourself, man, that person is super cool. I'd like to be like that person. You ever have that experience? I do. I mean, I know so many cool people. How could I not, right? I'm always like seeing other people and I think to myself, oh my gosh, they've got something going on. I wish I was a little bit more like that. And when I do that, sometimes it can make me forget about myself and that I have my own thing going on, right? We each have our own thing going on, and each of us can only be exactly who we are, and it's a good thing, too, because there's only one of us. There's only one of you in the entire universe. And so we need you all to be you, because there's no one else to do it, right? It's a heavy load, but there's no one else around that can be you. So if you know your name down here, let's try something. And maybe we can start here. Just say your name if you'll humor me. Who would the universe like for you to be? Okay. And who would the universe like for you to be? Right. And who would the universe like for you? Tara. And who would the universe like for you to be? Who would the universe like for you to be? There. How about you? Who would the universe like for you to have? Stevie, how about you? Lainey, all right. How about you? Here. Who would the universe like for you to be? Yo, how about you? Who would the universe like for you to be? Eleanor, right. How about you? August, right. Who would the universe like for you to be? Right. And how about Gio? Gio, right. Who would the universe like for you to be? Devin. How about back there? Who would the universe like for you all to be? Quincy. How about over there? Effie. Okay. How about you? Amanda. Fantastic. Well, I'm so glad you answered that, dare I say, correctly, because that's exactly who the universe wants for you to be. No one else can do it. And, okay, now let's go one by one out here. Who would the universe like to wait. There's a lot of us here today. Maybe we'll do it all together at once. If you'll humor me, who would the universe like for you to be? Exactly. Because there's no one else who can do that. We are so glad that you are here to be you.
We're going to explore more of our center in our RE classes today, but before we go, I need some help saying our children's covenant. Will you help me? In this place, I am kind. In this place, I am loving. In this place, I am a friend to the earth and all animals and people. In this place, I am loved.
Good morning, everybody. I am Parker. You may not recognize me. I don't think I've Greg, if you would be so kind to come up here and accept your award, or we can bring it to you. It's these awards, I made it with an actual piece of the building siding, so they have a piece of the building to take with them. Great. When during the first few years of the building, we had lots and lots of meetings with contractors, builders, and people who had things to say. And Greg was always the person in the room who we would always get to the end goal by the end of the meeting, but Greg always made it a time of calmness, a comfortable place to be, and he's just a wonderful person who could make moments that could have been tense. He has a really wonderful way of calmly refocusing, bringing everybody to the same ground level, and getting us to a place of comfort. So, Greg, thank you so much for all you've done. We really appreciate it. And we keep Greg around here. And it was a gavel on the Greg was bringing us to order. The next person I'd like to thank is John Lawton. John, if you can please stand up, we're trying to do this. John's right here. John, you can come up here and please accept your gracious award for this. John has done a heck of a lot. He's been, we had a facilities committee. John has been a member, he's been a leader of it, he's been on the board, and once again, he's back now as the facility head. John's award, I really like this one. It's got puzzle pieces on it. John, if you haven't met him, 5 seconds after meeting him, you'll know that he's an engineer. And he's a very smart man. And we have, my most noble memory of John is we have this pretty intricate system out back at the service area of a snow melt system. It didn't work for about 5 years. It is now working mostly thanks to John. He spent 3 years really getting that thing actually working. So a huge thank you to John. His amount of patience with that sort of thing was unbelievable to me. I don't know, my brain exploded after just a few meetings of dealing with that thing, and John stuck with it, and it is working now, thank goodness. John has done a whole lot. I thank him for that and the million other things you've done that I don't have time to mention. Give everybody give John a round of applause. And last but certainly not least is a man named Vernon. Vernon, he's right here. Vernon's award is a magnifying glass. Vernon is such a wealth of knowledge. I don't know if all of you know. Good to see you, Vernon. Back in the office, there's a library of building binders that contain all sorts of information. Some of it useful, some of it useless. The whole tome of it. It's of such weight, you could start a home gym with these things. Vernon has every page of these. In my mind, he has them all in his head. He's a portable thumb drive that I would call up sometimes for help. He is an incredible wealth of knowledge, and there's a lot of emails that would not have ever been written without him. And when he would write them, Vernon is the most thorough email compositioner I have. That's not, you should see some of his emails. They're amazing. He's written a lot of very important people, very important emails, and got a lot of very important things done, and we don't have time enough to mention them all here. One of his things that you see every day are these birdhouses around the church. The woodpeckers, you'll notice, don't care, and they make homes out of the building anyways. But Vernon has done a heck of a great job. Vernon, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Great to see you.
And we're very lucky to have this guy.
That's another thing about Vernon. He boosts my ego. Anyways, one big round of applause for these three gentlemen. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to join the facilities team, we're always looking for people. If you don't want to join a committee, but you just want to help out, feel free to contact me. I'm just building@uufco.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Parker. Thank goodness that Greg is being Greg, John is being John, Vernon's being Vernon, and Parker's being Parker. Thank goodness for all of them being themselves. One more round of applause. Yeah.
Hello again. I am still Jeff Belzer, and I am now going to be speaking on behalf of the Neighbor Impact Food Bank, which is the Greater Community Collection for this week. Just full disclosure, I work at Neighbor Impact in the Home Source Department, but not for the food bank, but I think I know enough to be dangerous, so here we go. Demand for food in the area is up significantly, 20% from 2022 compared to 2021. The Neighbor Impact Food Bank is the main food bank in the area, which, a little background, so what Neighbor Impact Food Bank does is get food from the Oregon Food Bank, which is for the state. We collect food from grocery stores, from donations, as well as we have our own garden where we take compost and maybe some of the food that's bad, we compost it and have our own garden as well, and then distribute that food to 57 partner agencies. Which can be anything from, a lot of the places that cook warm meals, school districts, medical facilities, food pantries, senior centers, Parks and Rec, Latino Community Association. We have tons of different partners we work with to get that food out into the community. Plus, we have 6 mobile food pantries, which is a unique part of the Neighbor Impact Food Bank, where we actually have mobile pantries. It's kind of like a food truck that goes to certain locations where then people in need are able to pick up bags of groceries and produce for themselves and their families. For 2022, we were on pace to distribute 4 million pounds of food and 2 million pounds of produce. Thank you. We also have done emergency response with bottled water and wildfire evacuee food boxes. And the big issue with the food bank is we have an undersized warehouse. So we're one of the largest food banks in Oregon in terms of food distributed, but we have one of these smaller warehouses. It's just 2,500 square feet. So the new warehouse is just starting to be in construction and is set to be done June in 2024, and it will be 4 times the size of our current warehouse. But we still need to raise $250,000 in order to make that happen. So as a nonprofit, we rely heavily on the generosity of our partners, and we're definitely extremely thankful and grateful for any support that you may bring to us. And we really could not do what we do without the support of people like you. So thank you so much.
We'll now take our morning offering for our Greater Community Collection to support the amazing work of Neighborhood Impact. Well, this congregation has the spiritual practice of sharing our joys and our sorrows with each other each week. We do this in informal ways, just by coming together and being in fellowship and speaking with one another. We do it in more formal ways by, if you'd like a joy or a sorrow that you'd like to share aloud with the congregation, these are on the kiosk, these forms, and on a music stand out front. And if there's just a joy or a sorrow in your heart that you would like to light a candle for this morning, those are on the sides of the sanctuary. Feel free to get up and light that candle whenever you would like to. So our first joy this morning is from Leora, who is back there at our sound desk today. And she says, "It is a joy to celebrate Lainey's 14th birthday yesterday. I love that girl." Linda Johnson shares, "A sorrow for the passing of Dr. Dick Koning, a well-known neurosurgeon who most of us know through his relief work in Ethiopia, training local surgeons how to perform life-saving surgeries for babies with neural tube defects. He opened a door of hope to millions, and his legacy will live on." Tom and Jenny Sponsler share a joy for living near the High Desert Museum. Being close to good art certainly is a joy. The wonderful exhibit, which is about to leave, Survival Architecture, the Art of Resilience, is not to be missed. It is inspiring and hopeful with amazing creative ideas for addressing shelter in a time of climate change. And Annis Henson shares continuing concern for our friend Michelle at OHSO, who awaits transplant for leukemia, and her sons and husband Alan, who are here in Bend. We hold those joys and sorrows spoken aloud, and we hold all the joys and sorrows in this room and in this place, and those gathered afar. We hold all those collectively as a community. We hold those together because we care for one another. So know that your joy or sorrow is held, whether it is shared aloud or not. It is held because you are in this place and because you are indeed held in love. You know, let's sing a song together as our prayer today. Return again. Prayer means many different things to many different people. Some, it is a situation of the heart. For some, it is an orientation of the soul. For some, it is a petition to something else. For whatever it is for you, we offer this song as a prayer today. Return again, return to the home of your soul.
in the idea of only being ourselves, growing up as a young woman, I think it was hard for me to even feel like my body was mine, and that it should have been different. And this is a song about feeling like my body is mine. I am obsessed with my body. I always have been a distant armchair scholar. I've analyzed the beauty and the shame. And tell me how you see me. Name me my price, and I'll take your temperature to see if I feel all right. If I feel all right. Oh, and reveal compulsions, and as all compulsions go, their fires lit from distant burns. You on steady will, I only push or pull, and fear my desires are wrong. Kneel here, child, no need to hover nearby. Acquaint yourself with your very own bones and your very own skin. I want to slam into others in the kindest of ways, and be as I am. No need to turn you on. Last night I got new skin delivered by canoe, and I danced into every corner underneath that bloody moon. That bloody moon. Yes, and reveal compulsions, and as all compulsions go, their fires lit from distant burns. You want steady, well, I only push or pull, and fear my desires are wrong. Kneel here now, no need to hover nearby. Acquaint yourself with your very own bones and your very own skin. And I wanna live before I die. I wanna live before I die. Golden women say, love who you are, so you can live before you die. I wanna live before I die. I want to live before I die. Golden women say, love who you are, so you can live before you die. Love who you are, so you can live before you die.
Well, it is the 8th of January. So how are those resolutions going? Resolutions. Oh my goodness. They're that time each year we're invited to think about our lives, take stock. And I've heard the gamut this year of like, oh, I love this time of year. I've made all these resolutions, and I love it helps me reground and become my better self. And I've heard all the way down to, I don't do resolutions. And both, I think, are fine stances to take, absolutely. And my guess is those folks who make a lot of resolutions are those who are realizing, they got some work to do, and life can be better if they could just maybe make some tweaks. And those who make no resolutions undoubtedly are perfect and have figured it out. No, I don't think that's the case. My guess is, is with me sometimes, I don't always make resolutions, and it's because oftentimes they simply don't work. They simply don't work. I do believe it's true, though, the Buddhist saying that each one of us is perfect, and we could all use a little improvement. I believe that. I think that's the central core of what we do here in this congregation and fellowship. We honor who we are and our uniqueness and our individuality, while also understanding we're on this path of growth at the same time. And so I have heard that there are only 8% of resolutions that are kept in any given year. Now, how they get that data widespread, I'm not sure, but to me, 8% sounds incredibly high. Like that is an amazing amount there. So for me, the resolution, it reminds me of this idea of wanting to be something more, wanting to be something other than perhaps I am right now. When I go to each summer I go to this thing called General Assembly. It's all these Unitarian Universalists from all over the country gathering together, and all these ministers. And before the big conference, there's this ministers conference. So it's all these Unitarian Universalist ministers. And I remember my first years of going there, I would just be a mess, an absolute mess, because here I was in this new vocation, excited to be with my people. And I would go out into this conference. That's what it felt like. I would go out, basically out from my hotel room. I would go out into this conference, and I would be excited about being around all these people, meeting them, these ministers who I admired and valued what they put into the world, and was enamored by some of them, wanted to be like them. And so the idea of getting to learn from them, the idea of even possibly befriending them, that was what I loaded myself going up into. And it is not a small jump to imagine that I arrived with all that anticipation, and it showed up as anxiety. Who am I in this space? How do I connect? What do I be? And so it left me feeling this just massive feeling of deficit, of I am not that. Look how great they are. Look at that amazing skill they have. I wish I was more like that. And so what would happen invariably is I would go out into the world from my hotel room, have good experiences, but just have this feeling of, I am less than. I am struggling to figure out who it is that I am. And so this one particular year, because it happens every year, and because it still happens to me when I go, and I have to remind myself of this practice of grounding. One year, when I was all heightened up and I said, I just have to get out, and I went back to my hotel room, half in hiding, half to reground. And I just checked in with myself and I said, what is going on? I realized that I was so disconnected from myself in that space, that I was having a hard time even moving in that space as myself, as my authentic self, as that place that moves from my center. I was way off of center. And so I went back to my hotel room and I just said, look, what is yourself? Just go out and don't worry about any of that stuff, and just go out and try and be loving. Just go out and try and be loving to whoever you hang out with, and yeah, maybe you'll talk to that amazing minister, and maybe you won't. Maybe you'll talk to this person over here you've never even seen or thought or heard of. Just go out with an attitude and a grounding of love and see what happens. That'll be, no matter what happens, that'll be better, that'll be different. And so that's what I did this particular time. And as you can imagine, it felt so different. It felt nice. It felt grounded. It felt like me. Because when I was just moving out into the world trying to be love and not worry about who I was being in relationship or connection with, I made some space for myself just to be myself. And that felt very different. And so at New Year's, what I find is that I do the same thing often. I think, I want to be that. I wish I were that. I want to do this. And instead of pointing it back internally to myself, to say, who am I and how do I want to be in the world? Who am I and how do I want to be in the world, and what does that look and feel like? How do I nurture my center? Because nurturing things is how they grow. And what we're talking about really is growing. When I point over there and say I want to be like that, what I'm really saying is I want to be here, ground myself in who I am and in love, and grow. Grow towards something. Grow towards myself. Grow more into myself, into this sense of becoming. There are lots of different ways of finding your center, of grounding. Sometimes it's going and hiding in your hotel room. And that does the trick sometimes. Believe me, sometimes that's necessary. Retreat! Retreat! Get away from it all! Okay, breathe deep, find yourself. And at New Year's, I'm reminded of all kinds of ways. You know them, they're classic. Eat better, sleep well, drink less, exercise more, have better connections, right? These, the ones that we think are grounding us in ourselves and making us better people. They're classic. But then those are good. I'm not knocking them. Do those. If those are your resolutions, do those. Do those. But maybe tack something on to them, right? Like, I want to do that. But I want to do that because it speaks to my deeper center, my value of who I am. Like, I want to exercise. Why? Not just because it looks good on the road when people see me and I can wave, but no, because there's somewhere in there that I love myself. I value life, and I want to care for that. And if I say I want to make my connections, my relationships more solid, that inherently is a statement of my center saying, I want to be kind, and I value people, and I want to show up in the world in a way that expresses that. And if I say, I want some wrong to be right in the world, and I want to be a part of that, what I'm really saying is I value justice, and I value empathy, and I understand that people have experiences that are different than mine, and I want to help in this world, bringing myself and becoming of myself into this world to help create a more just world. So there's lots of ways to do it. And counterintuitively, I found one of the best ways to find that center that is in me, right here, in myself, located in my body, is to get away from myself and to consider other people, to decenter myself and to consider the world around me, to consider other people's experience and how I can be a part of lifting up the good and love in the world. There's lots of ways to do that, and one is to think, I'm going to get out of the way and I'm just going to go help somebody. I'm going to go listen to somebody. I'm going to go care for somebody. And sometimes it shows up like this, because we know that money can be energy in the world. We know that money has the ability to actually make change and effect in the world. And if I were a minister worth my salt right now, I would have the ushers come down and I would take a collection for the congregation. But no. This morning, we are going to invite you, we're going to help in this process of helping you find your center through an act of goodness and generosity in the world. This morning, we're going to ask the ushers to come forward, and we're going to repass our offering baskets out. Go ahead and, yeah, don't come yet. And in these baskets are a bunch of $5 bills. And so when the basket passes, we're going to ask you to take a $5 bill out and just hold it for now. And when you leave this place, we are inviting you to take that $5 into the world and do something good with it. It could be anything. We have no idea, because only you are going to come up with the way that you imagine that $5 could do some good in the world. It could be giving it to Neighborhood Impact, or maybe a local organization that does something that speaks to your heart. It could be next time you see someone who's houseless or having a difficult time, just without pause, giving them that $5. Or maybe it's, you know, buying the drink for the person behind you at your favorite coffee shop. Or maybe it's going to the coffee shop after service and buying yourself a coffee and slowing down and saying, you know what? This is doing good in the world because I don't slow down enough. And maybe I don't think that I deserve to appreciate myself, and gosh darn it, I do. I'm buying myself a coffee. Whatever it might be, we're inviting you to take this $5 into the world. No strings attached at all, except one, which technically is not no strings, it's one string. The only string is, we're curious to hear what happens, right? So the idea, if you'll picture a ripple, right? So the $5 is that point of ripple, and from a point of impact, and then the ripple goes out, right? And so we're curious to see what those ripples and hear what those ripples are. And if you will, after, and it could be in time, what your idea might be, I'm going to team together with a couple other people. We're going to get our $5 to be $30. We're going to go buy art supplies. We're going to create pom-pom with googly eyes and sticky feet things, and we're going to sell those for $3 a piece, and we're going to make $100, and then we're going to give our $100 to a microloaning group. Who knows? I don't know what you're going to do with yours, but we do want to know. And so we're going to invite you to, when you, and there's no time pressure on this, it doesn't have to be done this week, anytime in the next, say, month and a half. When you have put your $5 back out into the world, we invite you to share that story with us at ripple@uufco.org. And so at this time, I'll invite our ushers to come down and repass out the offering baskets, upon which, having it pass your presence, you will take out one. And I think this is a little embarrassing. I think there's a lot of us here today. I think we have enough, because our children are playing, our children and youth are playing too, as well. So if you have a children or youth that is fifth grade and younger, Amy will be back there to give you that $5, and then our sixth grade and up, they're just getting the $5 themselves. And while we pass the basket, Alicia and Mark are going to give us another song.
In all due time, little one, in all due time, you will unravel ways about this crazy world. And you're wondering why you got dealt such a lousy hand. Well, throw it to the wind and let it carry you away. And you're looking up at silver smiles and silver cars on silver highways, going miles and miles and miles and miles away. The sun doesn't go away, it just hides behind the gray. Finds love in every place, it's how the sun survives. And you're in my mind, sweet child, I'll never forget you. And you rise in the morning to a brand new day, and you're choking up from this dirty, smoky room. From where you stand, you don't believe that it will ever clear. And the sun doesn't go away, it just hides behind the gray. Finds love in every place, it's how the sun survives. The sun doesn't go away, it just hides behind the gray. Finds love in every place, it's how the sun survives. And there you are, so bright in your light. I will carry your hope so you can find your way out. And the sun doesn't go away, it just hides behind the gray. Finds love in every place, it's how the sun survives. The sun doesn't go away, it just hides behind the gray. Finds love in every place, it's how the sun survives. It's how the sun survives. It's how the sun survives. It's how the sun survives.
Just stay there, stay there. So can $5 change the world? $5. And good folks on Zoom, if you will put your name and address into the chat, we will mail you your $5. Can $5 change? When we were talking about what amount we would use, we thought, should it be 10? Is $5 too little to make an impact? And we caught ourselves, what a cynical take that is. Can $5 change the world? Absolutely. Because that is how the world works, all in relationship, everything connected, everything being nudged, everything being influenced, everything being shaped by the things around it. So if there are $5 going out in the world in many ways that are going to be bound to love and justice, then yes, $5 can and will change the world. And can $5 change the world? Yes. Can $5 change you? Yes. This $5 can remind you of your center, can remind you of yourself, what is important to you, and how you want to be in the world. It can give you an opportunity, a chance to live. Alicia, what was the last line of that wonderful song you played a second ago? I want to live before I die. What else did it say? Right, right. Love who you are so you can live before you die. Mark is a larger fan of Alicia's lyrics than Alicia is. So in honor of the way that this project will create waves into the world, will create love into the world, let's rise, embody your spirit as we sing our closing hymn, Ripple by the Grateful Dead.
So we're hoping that you guys know this one. I've heard this song, a bunch of times, of course. I never really played it before, but kind of discovered in really learning it that I feel like it was written like as a sing-along. I feel like this is kind of one of the most straightforward Hunter Garcia compositions there is, and I was just like, wow, this is so perfect. So yeah, hopefully you can help us out, because I learned it yesterday. Did glow with the gold of sunshine, and my tunes were played on the harp unstrung. Would you hear my voice come through the music? Would you hold it as it were your own? It's a hand-me-down. The thoughts are broken. Perhaps they're better left unsung. I don't know. Don't really care. When heavy songs to fill the air, ripple in still water, where there is no pebble tossed, no wind to blow. Reach out your hand. If your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be again. Let it be known there is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men. There is a road, no simple highway, between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. Ripple in still water, where there is no pebble tossed, no wind follow. But if you fall alone. If you should stand, then who's to guide you? If I knew the way, I will take you home. Da 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 da
Will you join me in saying the words of the covenant of this fellowship, which is a promise that we make with one another in the hopes of we journey together in this way. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and help one another. I am curious, good people, about what comes next, about the stories we hear, about the ways that love is made real and manifest in this world through you, by you, in only the way that you could do so. I'm also remiss to say that there are a lot of you here this morning, and I was right. We didn't quite have enough $5 bills. It's the first of the year, and people come out, I guess, as a New Year's resolution. So if you did not get your $5, we apologize. There'll be a name. We do want you to have this $5, not your own $5, but this $5. So we're going to have a sheet out there that you can put your name, because we're already going to be mailing it to the Zoom people. So don't think anything about no special task. We're just going to ask you to write your name and address down as well, and we will send that to you. As we go into this day, into this life, I'm going to ask Mark to offer our benediction with those words once again from the song, Alicia's words through Mark's mouth to send us on our way.
Love who you are, so you can live before you die.
May it be so, good people. Amen.